Hello everybody, and welcome to Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan, home of the Michigan women's gymnastics team and site of tonight's matchup against the University of New Hampshire Wildcats. I'm Ben Hummel, and as always, I'm joined by the stunning Shanna Dugan, former Michigan gymnast and Scholastic All-American. Now, tonight, instead of talking about the matchup and analyzing what's going on, we're going to talk about a little something special going on here, and that's the Coaches Care Challenge. For the second straight year, the Michigan women's gymnastics team has teamed up with the Coach Carr Cancer Fund to assist cancer patients and their families at the University Cancer Center. Now, cancer is certainly something that has touched my family. My father, 7 years ago, was diagnosed with cancer and was treated successfully here at the University of Michigan Medical Center. Shanna, has cancer impacted your life in any way?
Actually, Ben, it has. I think it affects so many lives out there. It's such a sad, sad disease, but my grandma actually was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer, 10 years ago, and she overcame that, and now she has cancer again, but she has such a great attitude, and she's a strong, amazing woman. She's 83, and she's going strong.
Well,
So,
I hope that it turns out all right this time as well.
absolutely.
Now, if you're interested in making a donation or helping out in any way with the Cancer Fund, please visit the link that you see on your screen or visit umgym.com and look for the link to the Coaches Care Cancer Fund on that page as well. We'll have full coverage of the meet coming up right after this.
Do chaser hangover?
Welcome back to Chrysler Arena, everybody. Ben Hummel, joined by Shanna Dugan. We're about to watch Michigan women's gymnastics against New Hampshire. Shanna, on paper, it looks like Michigan should easily win this match. Would you agree with that?
Yes, Ben. Actually, UNH hasn't scored 195 yet this season, and Michigan obviously has scored that quite a few times. So, but on any given day, anyone can win.
Excellent. They're just about ready to begin here. Michigan will start, as usual, at home on the vault. We see Carol McNamara there, and on bars, UNH will be beginning.
Lauren Merkovich usually starts the vault lineup, but Michigan switched things up a little. She's going to try and do her 10-0 vault this meet if all goes well with the other 5 competitors.
And Carol with the Yurchenko full.
Wow, beautiful vault.
That certainly was. And the judges give her a 9.8. That's a great start for the Wolverines. Up first on bars for New Hampshire is Beth Bronson.
Beth is a sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida.
And we see a ganger right off the bat.
And that was an interesting dismount. It was a bump back double full, which has not been seen for quite a while.
I have never seen that before. That was extremely interesting. 9.775 for Beth. Now we see Lindsay Bruck performing her Yurchenko full.
Nice vault, small hop on the landing.
Lindsay scoring a 9.775 on vault. Up next for New Hampshire, we see Lindsay Barrios. And another ganger. Ooh, but her legs came apart there.
Lindsay is a senior.
About to perform her double tuck dismount.
And a little rough landing on that, but overall not bad routine.
And the judges give her a 9.650. Up now for Michigan on vault, we see senior Jenny Diley. Jenny performing a Yurchenko full.
And slightly over-rotated.
And the judges give her a 9.800. So 3 pretty decent scores for Michigan. Michigan had trouble last week on vault. We'll hope that they can continue this good scoring. Up now for UNH is Caitlin Schenkel. Ooh, and a fall right off the bat.
And Ben, that is 5/10 of a deduction for UNH.
She's going to have to put that behind her, getting some help from a coach. Back up onto her high bar. That was a reverse hecht that she missed.
Caitlin's a sophomore from Pittsburgh, New York.
And she's about to perform her double layout dismount.
and slightly under-rotated on that.
And the judges give her an 8.900. That, of course, is after the fall. Up now for Michigan on vault, sophomore Katie Lieberman, performing her Yurchenko full.
And then what a vault. She is also an All-American from last year.
That was absolutely terrific, and 9.875 for Katie Lieberman. Up now for UNH, we see Rebecca Porter. Oh, and we see a Tkachev there.
And Rebecca's a sophomore from Valparaiso, Indiana.
And Rebecca's dismount is a front 1.5.
And not bad on that landing. Good job.
And the judges give her a 9.675. Up now for Michigan, freshman Tatiana Tinarego, performing her Yurchenko full.
Slightly over-rotated, but well done.
And the judges give her a 9.800. Michigan has definitely put in some work on vault over the last week. Up now for UNH is Amanda Hall.
And Amanda's a senior from Bremerton, Washington.
And we see her perform her piked Jaeger. And now a Tkachev.
It's nice to see two high-class release moves in one routine.
Coming up her dismount, a double layout. Oh,
Oh, and that routine was looking really nice up until that dismount.
and the judges give her a 9.325, taking off the 0.5 for the fall on the dismount. Up now for Michigan, senior Lauren Merkovich.
And Lauren normally does start off the event. And she did her new vault, which is that of a 10-0, slightly over-rotated and landed a little low, but it's nice to see her getting a 10-0 out there.
And the judges give her a 9.6. Up now for UNH, we see Mariana Peña Trestini.
Mariana is a senior from Venezuela.
Terrific. And a piked Jaeger.
Nicely done.
And coming up, a full twisting double back.
A very nice routine.
Excellent, a 9.8 from the judges. She did stick that landing. Up now is Jamie DeMello. And this will be an exhibition, so the points will not count no matter how well she does.
And Jamie's a junior from Milton, Massachusetts.
And a Tkachev right off the bat.
That was some nice height.
Do they get extra points for amplitude? How does that work?
No, but it just overall looks a lot nicer, and you could take a deduction if there isn't enough amplitude, actually.
Okay. Coming up, her dismount, it's a double tuck.
And a nice job.
And a 9.6. Here we see the scores. Michigan on vault, several 9.8s, a 9.875 and a 9.775. What do you think?
Michigan has worked on their vault all week and practiced real hard, and it's nice to see that it was paying off.
Excellent. And those scores for New Hampshire on bars are actually a 9.8 and a 9.325 on the bottom. The Coaches Care Challenge would like to thank Apple, Todd Service Landscaping, Produce Station, and Kevin Sloan DDS for all their hard work and for their donations at this event. And speaking of Apple, there's the Apple iPod giveaway. We'll be back with more gymnastics right after this. Welcome back to Michigan Women's Gymnastics, everybody. Ben Hummel, joined by Shanna Dugan. We've just completed the first rotation, and girls are warming up for the beginning of the second. We see the scores here, but we do want to note Jamie DeMello, one of the vaulters for New Hampshire, has just injured herself. She was performing a vault during warm-up, and she wound up landing pretty much on her neck. They're attending to her now, and the vaults are going to be a little delayed for New Hampshire. We hope that everything's all right. We'll get word once we know more. we do see Nellie Kipley performing her bar routine right now. This will count. This is Nellie's bar routine. Michigan will go ahead and do all their bar routines as they attend to Jamie. Nellie scoring a 9.8 there.
And it was a very nice bar routine.
Up now for Michigan on bars, Tatiana Tinarego, a freshman from Miami, Florida.
That was a nice handstand by Tachi in her release element.
And her Ganger. And coming up, a double layout dismount.
Slight hop on the landing, but beautiful routine.
A 9.8 from the judges. Now up we've got Lindsay Brock. Lindsay with a nice pike Jaeger there.
Lindsay always shows great lines on bars and nice handstand work.
Setting up her dismount. This will be a double layout.
A beautiful routine.
9.9. We see why Michigan is the #1 bars team in the country. They're so chock full of talent. Up now we see Jenny Diley, a senior from Minnesota. And a nice straddle Jaeger there. Jenny's dismount will be a full twisting double back.
Great routine, Jenny.
And the judges give her a 9.800. Now up for Michigan, we've got senior Lauren Merkovich performing her bar routine.
Lauren was an All-American on the uneven bars last year at NCAAs.
It seemed like she kind of arched over there, didn't quite get that handstand.
She was actually supposed to just do the hop half, but she went over, but she covered it up very nicely.
Saw a Ganger followed by a straddle back handstand. Lauren's dismount, a full twisting double layout.
And just a slight stumble on the landing, but awesome routine.
A 9.850. Absolutely terrific routine so far, and now sophomore Katie Lieberman performing her bar routine. Katie misses the Tkachev.
This is actually a new bar routine for Katie. She was competing one with a straddle Jaeger, but she's just switched over to doing a Tkachev and has changed things up a little.
I saw her fall in practice as well. Now, luckily, everybody else on the Michigan roster did hit their bar routines, so they won't have to count any low scores. If you're unfamiliar with gymnastics scoring, usually 6 girls will compete, and they will count the best 5. You're able to drop the lowest of the scores. So even though she fell, it doesn't hurt, and I'm guessing that's why they probably put her last. Is that correct, Shannon?
Yeah, with her new bar routine, they just wanted to try it out and see what she'd score.
And a 9.275. Would have been a bit higher had she not fallen. And they have taken Jamie DeMello off of the vault apparatus. She looks to be doing okay. It looks to be just a lot of precaution around her neck because she did fall on her head. But the New Hampshire Wildcats have been warming up, and they will start their vaults very shortly. We take a look at the Michigan bar routines, lots of solid scores. Any surprises, Shanna?
No, Michigan is always a solid team on bars, and I mean, check out those scores. It looks great.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, hopefully UNH can recover, and this won't stick in their head too much. Up first, Melissa Cesar. This will be a Yurchenko Arabian.
And very under-rotated, and that will be a 5/10 of a deduction for UNH.
She only scores a 9.150. Up now, Beth Bronson for UNH.
And actually, Ben, after Bev talked to the coach, their team is suffering from a stomach flu, so a lot of the girls have been not feeling very well throughout this entire competition.
That's terrible to hear. You never want to hear that a team that you're facing is coming in unprepared because of injury or because of illness.
And they also have to compete again tomorrow night against Michigan State.
Tough schedule. This will be a half on Arabian.
And a nice controlled landing.
The judges give her a 9.575. Up now for UNH is Jen Jones. And this will be a Yurchenko Arabian.
And slightly under rotate on that, but she did stay on her feet.
Did stay on her feet, but only a 9.425. These are not good vault scores. UNH is usually much better than this. And statistically, they're better than Michigan. Now we've got Justine Turner performing a Yurchenko full.
And that is also a fall 5/10 of deduction, just like any other event.
Up now for UNH, Amanda Hall with a front handspring, front plank half.
And that was a very nice vault. Best one from UNH.
Terrific. And they finished with a 9.875, but they did struggle through many of their vaults. This will be a very low score. My totals are correct. They got a 47.225. And they only vaulted 5 girls, so they have to count every single one of those.
Well, their 6th vaulter was definitely Jamie, and obviously she's out due to injury.
And due to stomach flu, no one else is prepared. We'll be back with the third rotation right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Michigan women's gymnastics versus New Hampshire. After the second rotation, we see Michigan pulling out a huge, almost 3-point lead over the Wildcats, due mostly in part to that last rotation, their vaulting. Jamie DeMello, of course, going down with an injury. We have gotten word that it is just a sprained neck, no nerve damage. She will be okay. Excellent news. But that did seem to affect all the vaulters for New Hampshire. This next rotation will be non-alternating, so unfortunately we're only going to be able to bring you video of the Michigan routines as we see Carol McNamara starting out first with her back handspring, back layout. Carol, of course, a junior this year, about to perform her front tuck. Oh, stay on, and she falls off. That will be a deduction.
And that's very uncharacteristic of Carol. She's usually a solid performer on the balance beam from Michigan. That's why she starts off the lineup.
Carol, definitely one of Michigan's best. I believe she is their best performer on beam.
It's also hard to start a rotation with a fall because, all the next 5 scores in a row are definitely going to count.
Yes, so luckily Michigan has already gotten a large, sizable lead after that last rotation. But if this were a meet against a top school like Georgia or against Utah, Michigan could be in trouble here. Carol with her dismount, double full, and she scores a 9.150 with the fall. Now we see Jenny Diley. Jenny with a front handspring.
And that is a front required element. You must perform something frontwards or sideways on the beam, and that's how she takes care of that requirement.
About to perform her back handspring, back layout. Little wobble.
And a slight knee bend in the air.
Now, what are some side elements? I don't see a lot of those.
Well, Tatiana does a side summy on the beam, which is a very cool looking skill. You can also do an aerial cartwheel. Most people usually do a front tuck or front handspring. Something forward is a lot easier.
Okay. Are the side moves worth any more than the front?
No, I mean it just all depends.
As we see very nice form on a switch leap straddle jump by Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny has very pretty leaps.
And that was a gainer layout full.
The stuck landing. Very nice job.
9.70. Up now for Michigan is Nellie Kipley. Bit of a wobble there on the mount.
Michigan's usually a very solid team on beam, and they're having some slight problems here, but nothing too major yet.
And a kick over front by Nellie.
And she normally connects that with a jump out of it, but was slightly off to the right, so she just did the kick over.
And explain the connections. Those are worth bonus points, or?
Mostly what the athletes will do is connect certain leaps and jumps that are of high value requirement, and each combination is worth so many bonus points. And each routine starts out of a 9.5, and they have to get 5/10 in bonus. So all these combinations add up with the bonus in order to give them a star value of a 10.0.
Oh, terrific.
So if one is missed or broken, or if a fall is on any of those, they won't get the bonus for it.
Okay. So because she missed, we may see a slightly lower score, even if she didn't do any wobbles. Nellie with her back handspring, back layout, the layout full on her dismount, and she scored a 9.75.
Which is a nice job by Nellie.
And up now for the Wolverines, we see freshman Tatiana Tina Rego. Tachi performing the all-around now for, this is about the third straight time for the Wolverines.
Yep, and she was named Big Ten Gymnast of the Week.
We see her with a back layout, back handspring. Now, do you suppose before the season started, Coach Bev Flocky expected her to be competing the all-around, or was this just a terrific surprise?
I mean, I think every coach hopes that, their freshmen will be able to do that, but you never know. Incoming freshmen, you just never know what they're going to give, and it's nice to see our freshmen being very successful this year. Becky is out with an injury, but Haneth and Tachi are doing great jobs.
That's absolutely fantastic. We did see a side summy in there by Tachi. That's that side move that we talked about earlier. Her dismount here, that was a double tuck.
That was a great routine by Tatiana.
The judges give her a 9.850. Now we join Becca Clausen on her beam routine.
Becca was an All-American on balance beam her freshman season for the Wolverines.
Becca with her back handspring, back layout, back layout. Big wobble there.
Yes, and that's also uncharacteristic of Becca. Usually a very, very strong beam competitor.
And a beat jump, and her popa, and oh, ball didn't even fight for that one.
She's slightly off-centered on that. And like I mentioned before, not a characteristic beam routine of Becca.
Usually much stronger. She's got an excellent beam and floor routine. Nice front tuck there.
Yeah, very nice. Good height on that.
Becca coming up with a dismount, a gainer front full. And only a 9.050, much in part due to the fall. Up now for the Wolverines is junior Lindsey Brock. Coming in right into a Miller. Beautiful.
That's a very nice skill. Lindsay does it very nicely.
Although she has had a few problems with that move over the last few weeks. I remember her falling on that and arching over and not holding it the last couple of weeks.
But not today. That was a great Miller done by Lindsay.
But not today. She looks on tonight. Nice back handspring, back layout.
Yeah, very solid flight series.
And a full turn. Is that required by everybody?
Yep, you'll see all the girls perform a full turn on one leg.
And there we see a Sisson, full twisting back handspring swing down.
That's a very interesting move that Lindsay does. She worked on that this summer, and she got it good enough to put in her routine.
Front handspring. Now another down on the beam routine. This is a straddle jump, then a Shushinova.
That's an element that you see performed on the floor exercise. Not many do it actually on the beam.
And a gainer front full by Lindsay, scoring 9.850. And now performing an exhibition for the Wolverines, freshman Hunnith Lohr, and her mount is a full press handstand. That's absolutely an unbelievable show of strength and control.
Hunnith is a great performer on beam. She's very pretty to watch.
Coming up here, a back handspring, back layout, back handspring. Little wobble to the side. Now, Shanna, what could they take away for deductions with wobbles like that?
It just all depends on the severity of the wobble. If it can go anywhere from 1/10 to 3 or 4/10 if you actually put your hand down and touch the beam.
Now nice front tuck, but then she wobbles again. Another deduction.
Yep, she was slightly off on that.
Straddle jump. And was that a full straight jump?
Yep, that was a straight jump full.
You have to round off double full dismount.
And a good landing. Nice routine.
The judges give her a 9.675. Up now is sophomore Megan Moore, also performing an exhibition.
Megan's been working really hard in the gym, and it's great to see her getting out here and performing an exhibition.
Big wobble there on that jump. Now back handspring, back layout.
Slightly over-rotated, but she stayed on nicely.
Megan Moore is in the School of College of Engineering, and from what I hear, I believe she's got a 4.0. And, couldn't connect to that jump series, and that is a fall. Megan needs to recover from that fall. She's got another skill coming up. This will be a punch front tuck. Oh, and another fall. So Megan losing a full point here just in falls.
But this is exhibition, so it won't count towards the team total, it's okay. She's getting experience out there.
That is correct. And it's definitely good to see Megan out there. I know that the fans enjoy seeing gymnasts besides just the regulars. It's always fun to see somebody else come out and perform. And this is a gainer pike off the end. And as we see, the 8.325. You can look at the scores here. Michigan does have to count Carol McNamara's 9.150 because Becca also fell.
Some uncharacteristic beam routines, though, by Michigan. Usually a very, very solid team. A little off tonight, but they luckily only counted one fall.
And we see the New Hampshire floor routine, a couple of really low scores on floor. There were a couple of falls in there. We'll be back with more Michigan women's gymnastics right after this. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Michigan women's gymnastics, Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor. Ben Hummel joined by Shanna Dugan, and we've got rotation 4 for you, Michigan on floor and New Hampshire on beam. Nellie Kipley going for her first pass, and it's a double pike.
A nice controlled landing by Nellie.
We can see all the yellow shirts in the background there. That is the Michigan Gymfantry. It's the student fan club. Great to see them out and having fun. That's a group that's definitely building. We got some signs in the background. We see a big "Whoa, Nelly" sign. Nelly going for her second pass. This will be a Rudy.
Nicely done. Nelly's also working on doing a Shushinova immediately out of it like Jenny Diley does for her second tumbling pass. It's just not quite ready for competition.
Now, how do the girls decide what moves make it in, and how do they choreograph these routines?
Well, usually at the beginning of the year, they have a good idea of what they're going to put in them, and then they choreograph the dance accordingly. But then some things change throughout. You might add some more difficulty or whatnot.
And Nelly with her third pass, a full front layout.
And very nicely done. Great leadoff routine by Nelly.
Absolutely fantastic, a 9.800. Up now, Carol McNamara on floor for the Wolverines.
Carol with a tough opening pass, a full twisting double back. A little low on the landing, but nicely done.
And she moves right into her second pass, which is a front layout, front full.
Solid landing by Carol.
Now, do the girls ever get help choreographing routines? Do they ever hire a choreographer?
Yes, actually they do. Dominic Zito does it out of Ohio.
Is that his full-time job?
Yeah, I think it is actually.
Kind of an interesting full-time job. A gymnastics floor choreographer. Carol setting up for her third pass. This will be a double top.
Nice high double back for a third pass, which is nice to see.
And a 9.850, another high score for the Wolverines. We move right in to see Lindsay Bruck on her floor routine. Lindsay having a terrific night. She does a double pike for her first pass.
A beautiful, solid landing on that pass.
Moves into her second pass. This will be a full front layout.
Beautiful on that one, too.
That was a Wolf full Popanova. A little spirit ankle, my favorite. Not actually a required move, which I think they should change. I would like to see the spirit ankle be a requirement. Going into her third pass here, Lindsay performing a whip half front full.
And a great routine by Lindsay.
Absolutely fantastic. That should earn her very high marks. And it does, a 9.900.
She had a great meet here tonight. It's nice to see her back in action.
Definitely good to see her performing the way that we know she can. Now we've got Jenny Diley coming up for the Wolverines. Jenny in her first pass here with a double pike.
Great landing. The Wolverines are looking very strong on floor tonight.
Jenny's second pass, a Rudy into a Shushinova. Shushinova right there where it looks like she's actually flying. Last year, that move was made popular by former Olympian Elise Ray, who competed for the Wolverines, and they called it the Flying E-Ray.
And that's also what I was talking about Nelly is working on in practice, too. So hopefully she'll be able to compete that soon.
It's definitely a beautiful move. Jenny setting up for her third pass. This is a front full, front layout. Oh, real low. The judges marked it down to a 9.6. We'll be back right after this.
Everyone knows that stress increases cortisol. Cortisol increases belly fat. And
welcome back to Michigan Women's Gymnastics, ladies and gentlemen. The middle of the fourth rotation, and we've got the freshman Tatiana Tinarego performing for the Wolverines. Tachi's first tumbling pass is going to be a whip to a double pike.
She had a lot of height on that, a little uncontrolled on the landing.
Second tumbling pass is going to be a front layout, front full.
Nicely done. Tachi's a great dancer. She always seems to be having a lot of fun out there.
See some great leap combinations there. Tachi playing with the crowd a little bit before she sets up her final pass, a double tuck.
A little low on the landing, but she actually fell on that last one, so it's nice to see her on the computer tonight.
Definitely at a 9.850. Next up for the Wolverines, senior Becca Clausen.
And Becca was the Big Ten champion on this event last year.
Becca, nicknamed a Rebel, as you can hear from some of the music here. A double pike for her first floor pass.
A little low on that landing. And she's actually working on a full twisting double back, the same as Carol. So it'd be nice to see her get that in there too.
Becca coming into her second pass here. This will be a front full, front tuck.
Excellent height and great landing on that tumbling line.
We saw a couple of our good friends over from the Michigan Credit Union. Always great to see them out. They come out and support a lot of community events, such as tonight's gymnastics meet. Glad to have them here. The Booster Club out in full force as well, along with a lot of the Michigan parents. Great to see a lot of support for these girls and what they're doing. Becca setting up her third tumbling pass. This will be a double tuck.
And a little short on that one as well.
She scores a 9.7. And up now performing the exhibition is Katie Lieberman.
This is the first time we get to see Katie on floor for the Wolverines this year, and she's got some great tumbling.
Setting up this first pass, a double pike.
A little over-rotated. Katie, too, has been working on a full twisting double back, so hopefully she'll have that in as well.
Second pass here, front full, front tuck. Absolutely gorgeous.
Katie actually has been suffering from a knee injury. She has a pretty bad tendonitis, so she hasn't been competing floor. That's why she hasn't even been practicing it in the gym. So she's trying to get in lineup.
Is that the same injury that she suffered last year in Nationals?
No, actually that isn't, Ben.
Okay, so a couple of different injuries for Katie. Good to see that she's able to compete for us here tonight. Setting up the final pass here. This will be a front tuck, front handspring Rudy.
And a great landing on that pass as well.
absolutely phenomenal to see. A 9.800 by Katie.
Awesome job.
And performing another exhibition, we've got freshman Hunneth Lohr. Hunneth's first pass is going to be a double pike.
Nice solid landing for Hunneth. As you can see, Michigan has a lot of depth on floor. 2 exhibition spots, and they're 2 solid routines.
And a second pass here, this is a Rudy.
Nice landing.
Now, Shanna, I noticed especially with like Becca and with Lauren Merkovich, they only compete 2 events. Do they practice all 4 events in practice?
Yes, Ben. Usually most of the girls do. Becca has a back injury, so she doesn't actually even practice on bars. But usually all the girls work out on everyone because you never know if there's injuries or whatever, we might need them.
Sort of like tonight with New Hampshire with the stomach injury or stomach illness that they've got. Some of the girls may be called up that usually don't get in there. On its final pass will be a front full, front layout.
And she's also upgraded this pass. She used to just do a front tuck.
And a nice exhibition routine by Hunneth. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.
Good evening. I'm Lloyd Carr, and this is my wife, Lori. We hope that you've enjoyed tonight's gymnastics performance as a part of the Coach's Care Challenge.
We want to thank you for your generosity and for participating in the various fundraising events that tonight's meet. All proceeds will benefit the Coach Carr Cancer Fund at the U of M Medical Center. We would also like to thank all the volunteers that assisted with tonight's events.
Together, we can make a difference, united as a team. Thanks, and go Blue.
As we see a nice video message there by Coach Lloyd Carr and his wife. Great having them at the Coach's Care Challenge. We see the winners for tonight's meet on vault. Amanda Hall from New Hampshire winning with Katie, Tachi, Jenny, and also Carol in tow. And the winners for bars, we've got Lindsay Bruck winning the event with Lauren, Tachi, Nellie, and Jenny all sweeping the event for Michigan. On beam, Tachi wins the event with Lindsay Bruck. And we see Jen Jones and Maria Pena Trestini and Nellie all up there on the podium as well. Winners on floor, it's all Michigan again with Lindsay Bruck, Carol McNamara, and Tatiana Tinarego sweeping for Michigan. Great job by these ladies tonight. And the winner of the all-around is Lindsay Bruck, followed by Tatiana Tinarego, freshman, and senior Jenny Diley. Terrific, a sweep again by Michigan. Shanna, how do you think they did tonight?
I think they had a lot of great things going on tonight. Vault, a huge improvement, which was really nice to see. And floor looked pretty good too, as well as bars. Beam, a couple little struggles, but hopefully they get those out of the way.
Congratulations, Coach, on tonight's victory. You've got 3 weeks before Georgia comes to town. What will you guys be working on up until then?
I think it's not hard to get up for a meet like Georgia, and we've improved our vault significantly this week. We need to continue to keep that ball rolling. I thought we had got a little of the wind out of our sails after the injury happened tonight, and I think we got to work on keeping the energy up. I think we have shown that we can be really good in all 4 events. We got to put all 4 of those events together in the same meet, so that's what we'll be striving to do.
Excellent. What went through your mind when the girl went down? What were you all thinking about?
I didn't see it at all. All I saw was her coach signaling for our trainer to come over, and then I knew, obviously I could tell it had been a neck injury, and you always, take a deep breath and say a prayer and hope that, everything turns out okay, and I think, it sounded like she was going to be fine. But you take every precaution in that type of situation, and we waited, and it took the ambulance, much longer than I thought it should have to be able to get here. But we tried to keep the event going by competing on bars, but then having to turn around and wait for New Hampshire to re-warm up and do their whole competitive thing. It just, really kind of sucked a lot of the energy out of the competition itself, and it's hard to kind of pick up and get started again after that. But certainly we feel, very badly for that athlete, and hope that everything turns out okay for her. But you'd never not take the time or whatever you need to do for when you have a situation like that.
Definitely. And you've got a couple of injuries of your own on the team. Lindsey Borden still out. Becky Bernard's still out. But we did see Katie Lieberman perform a floor routine tonight. How's your team doing injury-wise?
Well, I think the key is that we really need to get Becky Bernard back in on both bars and beam. She's one of our best, if not our best, athlete in both of those two events. So it'll make a big difference when we can get her back in there, and we're hoping that'll be sooner than later. But, we got to take that week by week. Katie stepped in tonight and did a floor routine for the first time and did extremely well. So hopefully that'll help her to build some confidence in that event, and it will help us to be able to have a little bit of depth if we need to rest somebody who's a little sore here and there. So I think both she and Hunneth did a great job in exhibition on floor tonight, and that'll help us down the road.
Great. Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right. Thanks.
We take a look at the home schedule for the Michigan Wolverines. We've got Georgia coming up, and Michigan State, and then Michigan will host the NCAA regionals. Shanna, what can we expect from that Georgia meet?
Georgia's looking really good, Ben. They're the #1 team in the country, and it should be an exciting meet.
Sounds great. I look forward to it. #1 versus #4. For Shanna Dugan, I'm Ben Hummel. Thanks for watching.